but tonight it's free, and it's free for a tremendous cause. And fortunately, I'm in town this week. Over the next 9 months, I have to travel 225,000 miles. But let's talk about you, how you can get a little better. If I was pinned down to one or two simple things, get your racket back. To me, if you get that racket back, you have a chance. Now, a lot of you have the old-fashioned grip. Some of you, not old-timers, but have been playing tennis for several years. So if you have the old-fashioned grip, you want to exaggerate your follow-through. Because if you don't, the face opens up. If you learn how to read the ball as it crosses the net, you improve immediately. Many years ago, there was a man, a great man. He had two daughters. And he said to his two daughters, run for every single ball. Daddy, the balls are out. He said to his daughters, there's no ball out. You have two sets of eyes, your eyes and your brain. When your eyes see and your brains think if you can get it, you'll not get it. But if your eyes and brains work together and you start moving, you'll get the balls you never thought you could get. So how do you improve this? From the service line to the net is zone 1. Zone 2, service line to the baseline, is 2. From the baseline behind is 3. So if you can yell out 2 and start moving immediately, you'll get the balls you never thought you could reach. And that, to me, will improve you immediately. Now, the non-dominant hand plays a big role when you have a two-handed forehand. I mean, a regular forehand. For instance, we go back, there's a high ball. I'm back about 8 feet behind the baseline. You have something in your pocket, Nick? Now, when this hand drops, you go high to low. The left hand here, you go low to high. The farther you go away from the net, the higher you hit the ball. Now, remember, I know nothing about ball rotation, miles per hour, turn the hips, and I only coach 10 number ones in the world, but I know nothing about that. And the reason whatever success I've had is to realize there's no two people alike. Everybody is different. Back in the mid-60s, I was tennis coach at a club in Rockville, Maryland. I can still see the ladies coming off the court. I ain't gonna pimp that anymore. Oh, she does a pee-pee, this sissy shot. Well, why don't you tell Federer? Why don't you tell Nadal that's a sissy shot? The drop shot is one of the two biggest weapons on the tour today. And the key to the drop shot is disguise. And no matter what grip you have to alter your grip a little bit to hit a successful drop shot, to go to a weak Eastern grip or a continental. Okay? The other big weapon today is called the swinging volley. So in the mid-'80s, they said Nick couldn't teach a volley. So I told Courier, Selish, and Andre, swing at the ball, baby. What is a swinging volley? Hand here pointing at the ball, racket here. Head in the middle of your shoulders, don't tilt, hand behind the racket, and you swing. That's the swinging volley. So when you're playing doubles, and you have two at the other side of the net, and you hit a swinging volley right at them, they ain't gonna play at the net anymore. Okay? Remember that. Another little tip, when you're playing singles or doubles, and you have an easy shot, make believe nobody's on the other side of the court. Do not try to anticipate what they're going to do. You play the ball. The longer you think, the lower the ball drops, and the more the person gets into position. Okay?
Got it.
Now, I have a new book that'll be coming out in July or August, and it's called Keep It Simple. 40 or 50 simple lessons. And one of them was describing Nadell. Most people were born in a hospital. Nadell was born in red clay. When they say you have to stand on top of the baseline, Nadell is so far back he's almost a spectator. That's his style of play. So everybody is different. I remember when I found Monica Seles, there was a tournament before the Orange Bowl called Sports Goofy. I had the best young American. They called me and said, Nick, 2 and 3. I said, congratulate my student. They said, no, she lost to this little girl. So I went to the Orange Bowl, everybody, and I said, can you tell me where this girl is? They said she's on court 4. I walked down and there were bushes and backdrops so I couldn't see anybody. I began to get, what is that, an animal? So I go around the side. I see this thin little girl standing on the baseline, 2 hands here, 2 hands here. I gave the mother, the father, the brother, and her a scholarship by Monica Seles. Okay? And if a coach had tried to bring her 6, 7 feet behind the baseline, she would never have been the player she was. Why? She was not a great athlete. And if you're 6, 7 feet behind the baseline with 2 hands, you'll never have time. So what did she do? She dictated the play. She stood smack on top of the baseline. Okay? So the book also describes about 15 of my plays. Agassi, if I got 1 hour out of my day, maybe I was lucky. Courier, his mother wrote a letter to me and said, Nick, thank you for the scholarship. Would you please change my son's baseball grips on the backhand? So you know what I told him, sir? Hit all 4 hands, baby, forget the backhand. And he became #1 in the world. So everybody, remember, get the racket back. You do not have a good second serve. Get your first serve in. Why? Because the mentality of most people, folks, is not to attack a second serve. To attack a second serve. So to get the first serve in, you're better off. All right, who plays doubles? Raise your hands. Okay. Next time you play doubles, you're up at the net, and you poach and miss a volley, you turn around and say, shut up, at least I'm trying. So before they say, how could you miss that ball? Okay. Also, when you play doubles, everybody, my partner's serving to the deuce court. I'm standing almost in the alley. Well, what are you kidding me? Sit down, I don't need you. Nick, I've got to guard the alley. You stand 6 or 7 feet to the right of the singles line. When the returner moves to his right, then you guard the alley. But if you move out more, much more difficult for the returner. In modern day doubles, against the big serves, both players are out in the back. They're not ashamed. Go in the back. Okay? The I formation. You're up here. Which way they're going to go? Which way they're going to go? I don't know. Smack it right at him. Right at him. But if you try to anticipate where they're going, you'll miss half the shots. All right, everybody? And remember, the name of the game is what a gentleman told me many years ago. Came to the academy. He was already #1 in the world to get ready for the senior tour. I said, tell me what made you a champion. You ready? Nick, the split second I stepped onto that tennis court, everything went out of my mind except one thing. I will hit the last ball over the net in play, beyond ball. Okay? And that's what made him a champion. 2 ways to return serve. Cross court like Martina Hingis and Chris Everett. Lowest part of the net, ball travels a long distance. Not Agassi, baby. He won for it because by the time you serve the second or third time, he eats you up. So everybody is different. And also, everybody, let me tell you something. In my movie that was out, the documentary last weekend called Love Means Zero, Boris Becker gave me a big compliment. He said, Nick stands close to you, sees a little thing, gives a little tip, and walks away. You know why? Most coaches have diarrhea of the mouth. The more you talk, the more you have to prove. And also remember, everybody, and don't say I told you this lesson. Do what we Italians do. Anything close, it's out there. Thank you, everybody. God bless you. And we've got 10 books to hit for prizes, and I have about 10 to 15 to 20 books that are $10 each, and I'll personally autograph it. But 10 books are going to be hit for prizes. All right?
Give it up for Nick.